Hi, Kim from Expression Artwork. So today we're going to make a fun fall floral arrangement. Fall is right around the corner. We only have about a month and a half left of summer. So us crafters start thinking about fall and what we can make to, sell. We have craft shows coming up that's very popular in the fall, or maybe you're just having a little sale locally. Maybe you have a booth. Whatever it is, you're just crafting for fun. You're crafting as a gift. You're crafting for yourself, for maybe wanting a new fall piece for your own home. So there's so many reasons, and I know for me, I don't know about you all, but fall is my favorite season, and I love making fall decor. So let's get started. So I got this basket. Now, as you could see, there's paint on it. So I bought the basket at Michael's and it just came in a solid brown, but I decided that I wanted to lighten it up a bit and just make it more fun. So I added a antique white to it, and I just kind of went around, dry brushed it, and I thought it looked really nice. So you could always leave it alone. You could paint it another color. You could add fall colors to it, whatever you choose, but this is just something I did. And then I already went ahead and put some floral foam inside. Okay, and I love the fact that it's got a hanger. So this is great for a door hanger, or if you just want to hang it on a hook and, have it on a wall. So lots to do with it. But they were having a sale on their baskets too. I believe this is Ashland. Okay, so I have an assortment of fall florals. Some were from the Dollar Tree and some were from Hobby Lobby. So let me show you what I got, and then we'll start cutting. So I have these beautiful. I love the orange, the different shades of orange that are in it, and some of that pretty greenery. So this was definitely Hobby Lobby. Then I got this from Michael's. Thought that would just be a cute added touch with some white berries. This is from the Dollar Tree. And this is also from the Dollar Tree. These were Michael's. Look at those beautiful sunflowers. Sunflowers are my favorite flower. And what I love about sunflowers, you could really decorate them all season. They're not just fall. They're not just spring or summer. I feel like, maybe winter you don't really think about sunflowers, but I feel like they go spring, summer, and fall. So they're very versatile. And look at how cute these pumpkins are. These are also from Michael's. I also took some air dry clay, and I had a leaf mold. So I made this pretty maple leaf. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to paint this and let it dry. I'll put the dryer to it too, my heat dryer, and then we'll let it also dry. And as that's drying, we can start building the floral basket. So I took out two colors. This is traditional burnt sienna, and this is by Decor. So a pretty fall color, like almost like an orangey rust. And then I have this beautiful color apricot sand, and it's by the Painted Sky Paints and Company as well. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, with the darker color, I'm gonna start off with that, and I'm going to paint most of the leaf with the darker color. And then I'm gonna go in, dry it up a little bit, then I'm gonna go in with that apricot sand and give it some highlights. Because too, when you're looking at leaves, it's very rare that they're all one solid color. You always have a variation of colors, and I want it to look more natural. So if you're liking what you see, I hope you will like and subscribe to my channel. You could also find me on Facebook at Expression Artworks by Kim. And you could follow me on there. I post things that I make. I put up reels. I also do create some images with the help of AI, so I'll put them up, and those are all free to use. You just have to download them and use them for your own personal crafts. Obviously, I ask that you don't claim the images as your own, but you are welcome to use the images to craft with and sell your products using them. They're great for journaling. They're great for decoupage. You could do all sorts of things with the images. This is such a pretty color. I love it. Perfect fall color. Hopefully this gives you ideas, tips, inspiration. I know I enjoy watching other crafters as well and picking up ideas and getting inspiration. You know, sometimes as crafters, we are obviously very creative and we love what we do, but sometimes we just get blocked, right? We want to create something, but we just kind of get stuck. And watching other people or seeing someone's craft just gives us that inspiration sometimes and motivation that we need to continue, doing what we love and going forward. We don't want to, of course, 100% replicate someone's craft and like steal from them, but it just to give you an idea and say, oh, wow, I love that. I'm going to take that idea and I'm going to make it my own, right? Because we always want to make things that are our own. So I'm just going to dry this up a bit. And then I'll take the apricot sand, that lighter color, and just kind of dry brush it on in certain areas and giving it that dimension and a variety of colors so it looks a little bit more realistic. I also work with air foam clay too as well. I like that clay. I'm starting to like that clay a little bit better actually. And you could get the clay through Amazon, you could get it through craft stores. All right, so that should be dry enough. And I just want a little bit of this. I don't want to take away too much of that dark color. I'm just kind of adding it to the, kind of like the edges where the leaf comes to more of a point. And then I'm going to just take a little bit and dry brush. So you see a little bit more color towards the edging, and then just a little bit of a lighter tone throughout in the center, but still that darker color showing through. Just gonna add a little bit of heat to it, and then I'm gonna put it to the side and we're gonna start building our floral basket. Let me actually hold it up for you so you could see. So you still see the deeper color throughout, but there's some of that lighter color in there too. And I am definitely not an expert when it comes to floral arrangement, but I do like to have different heights. You don't want everything to be even, and you kind of want to break up the flowers. You don't want too much of the same. So I'm going to balance it out by putting 3 sets of the sunflowers in. Okay. And I want to add a little bit of these. These are so pretty. These I'm just adding 1 on each end, and I'm sticking them up because they're in front. I want to go a little shorter in the front, so I'm sticking them in a little bit further. So you can see what we have so far. So adding these more to the front, 1 on each side. Added the sunflowers, 1 in the middle, 2 on the edges, and I left the ones on the edges higher. White berries, and these are also really nice at Christmas time. Oops, lost one. And then adding some of these in, keeping it very, very seasonal. And with these, I'm creating a little bit more height. And definitely adding those little pumpkins are going to be nice fillers. So we're going to add some of those. And because there's so much on one stem, I'm just adding 1 set of those. If you want to bend them out a little bit, so they're not just sticking straight up. See what I did with the front sunflowers? I brought them a little bit more to the front, and then I kind of bent them a little bit. So that's what we have. And I have some of this that I want to add. Another type of good filler, so you don't just have flowers. These pieces, because there's more of a stem to them, I'm going to add them. This is going to go right here towards the front. There we go. And then I'll take this one here that I just cut. I'm going to remove this flower. And I just want the one flower with some of these buds and the greenery. And I'm going to add that to this side here. And there we go. What I'm going to do is I have some Spanish moss. So I'm going to add Spanish moss around here in the front. So it hides the stems, but it also hides this green floral foam. And that'll also act as a nice filler. So there we go. We got our assortment of some fillers, beautiful fall flowers, the golds, the yellows, the oranges, some greenery in there, somewhere about right there. And it just adds that little something extra, nice embellishment to the basket. So I'm using my Tight Bond glue. I'm just putting a generous amount of the glue on this foam. And then you could always trim some of the longer pieces, but how nice that adds as a filler. And you don't, like I said, you don't see those stems that are inside, and you don't, of course, see the green floral. And then you have the leaf as your embellishment. And there you go. There's your cute little floral decor that you could hang up on a door, little hook on the door, or hook on the wall. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you did, I would appreciate you liking and following me. Like I said, Expression Artworks by Kim on Facebook, and subscribing to my channel here. Okay, bye. Thanks.